The next system that we're going to consider is the Babylonian system. The Babylonian system is going to seem a little more complicated to you just by virtue of the fact that it is base 60. So what that means is they have a ones place. So that would be 60 to the 0th power. Then there is a 60s place, 60 to the 1st power. And the next one would be 60 to the 2nd power, which is 3600. And it would continue from there. You'd have 60 to the 3rd, 60 to the 4th. So their place value system is a little different from what we're used to. The Egyptian system and the Roman numeral system, you've got 5s and mostly 10s, though. We're very comfortable with 10s. Base 60 is a little different. They also only had 2 symbols. They had a symbol for 1 and a symbol for 10. Their symbol for 1 kind of looked like a bit of an arrow or an arrowhead that points down. They used reeds, R-E-E-D-S, reeds to write with, and they would have been carved into this kind of point shape, and that's why their symbols are pointed. But when it was going down, that point going down, that was 1. And when the point goes to the left, you've got 10. And those are their 2 symbols. They originally did not have a symbol for 0, but they did eventually get a symbol for 0, but we're not even going to get into the zeros here. We're just going to look at our 1s and our 10s. I'm not going to throw any more symbols at you. So let me show you how this would work, how they would represent numbers. So we're going to start with 153. 153. Well, there's no 3600s in 153, but there are 2 60s. Two times 60 is 120, so that leaves 33 remaining. So there's 33 ones. So the way they would represent this, they have 2 60s. I'm going to leave a little bit of a space, and then we have 33 ones. So there's our 33, and I'll go ahead and shade these in. Ideally, these symbols would all be the same size, but y'all get the idea. So that's how they'd represent 153. Now let's look at something a bit more complicated. 5,482. I'm going to actually pull a calculator up for this one. So obviously this one's got a 3,600 in it. And let me grab this calculator really quickly. So if we take 5,482 and subtract off that 3,600, we're left with 1,882. How many 60s go into that? Well, let me divide by 60. I've got 31 and then a decimal, but I want the whole number part. So I've got 31 60s. Now, no shame if you can't multiply this in your head. 31 times 60 is 1,860. We started out with 1,882 minus 1,860. So that leaves us 22 ones. So that's how we find what's going to go in these different place values. So again, 22 ones. So 1 3,600, 31 60s. So there's 10, 20, 30. Ooh, that one's kind of wonky looking. And then 22 in the ones place. So there's 20. And 2. So what we would read as 5,482 is 1 3600, 31 60s, 22 ones in the Babylonian system. Hopefully seeing some of these other numeration systems through the years makes you just a little more appreciative of our system, which we'll talk about later. But we're going to look at one more system in the next video. And if you think the Babylonian system is a little crazy, wait till you see what the Mayans used.